Signing day is over and the transfer portal season has begun. And Nebraska received news last night that their quarterback, Chubba Purdy, has officially entered the portal. Will go and play for a different team in 2024. So in this video, we're going to go over my takes, some rumors around a past Husker quarterback coming back, and if that's valid or that's not going to happen, and more. So without further ado, if you like the content, please hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel. But let's get into it. So to nobody's surprise, really, Chubba Purdy entered the portal last night. I was not surprised when I saw the headline first reported by Sean Callahan. This is a guy that wasn't very happy throughout this season. He got injured in fall ball, thought that he deserved to play over Heinrich Haarberg. The staff kept rolling out Haarberg throughout the season over him, even when Purdy was healthy. And at the end of the year, Purdy finally got an opportunity to play, and he played pretty decent. Not really surprising. He was going into his fifth year. He was not going to start. There was no scenario where Chubba Purdy started this year. A lot of people were saying that, oh, maybe he will be the day one starter with Raiola. That was never going to happen because Chubba Purdy was never going to be on the roster. This is not shocking news. This is not a groundbreaking development. He wants to go to a place where he is going to be the starter for the entire year. And there's already rumors that he's going to go join Eric Shenander, the past defensive coordinator for Nebraska. They're at Boise State, so that would be a great landing spot for him. I wish him the best of luck. I mean, he's a very talented quarterback. Obviously, we know his family history. Of course, his brother Brock Purdy, the starting quarterback for the 49ers. And it's funny to even compare the two because when Chubba Purdy was coming out of high school, everyone was saying that he was the better brother. He's the more talented brother. He has the better arm strength. He has the more athletic ability. So I definitely believe in Chubba Purdy's upside. I still think he could be a very good college quarterback. Again, this is not a time to overreact, however. I'm not losing my mind about this. Would I have rather had him than Heinrich Haarberg? Absolutely. I am of an understanding that Heinrich Haarberg is never going to be a starting quarterback at Nebraska again. And if he is, that's because of injuries. I would have much rather seen us move on from Haarberg. I think Chubba Purdy is the better quarterback. I think he's the more talented quarterback with the better upside. I think he's better in every facet of the ball game, but at the end of the day, Purdy deserves to go start somewhere, and I'm going to respect his decision. I think that's a good decision at the end of the day. Now, as for Heinrich Haarberg, where do we go from here with him? I still believe we need to move on from Heinrich Haarberg. I believe Matt Rhule kind of needs to say, hey, you need to do a certain level of play at the spring ball level, and if you can't do that, you don't deserve to be on the roster anymore. Like, you go find a different place to play. And I love Heinrich Haarberg. He wants Nebraska to win. He's a Nebraska kid. He wants to do whatever it takes for this team to win, and I respect that so much from Heinrich Haarberg. But he's not a D1 quarterback. He's not. We saw it this year when he did get on the field. This dude did not play before in his career. He was on the scout team. He will be a third-string quarterback this year. In my rule of thumb with the new transfer portal and with scholarships being as limited as they are, is if you're going into your fourth year of college and you're not breaking the 2 deep on the roster, you do not deserve to be here. Like, you just don't have any upside at that point in time. I get the depth purposes, but if he's going to be our third-string quarterback, we might as well make Danny Kaelin our third-string quarterback because of the fact that I think Danny Kaelin might already be better than Haarberg the second he steps on campus. We should remind ourselves that Kaelin is also an Elite 11 finalist along with Dylan Raiola, so he might as well be our third-string quarterback. And you might be asking, Wilson, okay, if Kaelin's your third string and Haarberg is on the roster, who's your second-string quarterback? Well, you got to get a transfer. You just have to. Of course, Dylan Raiola will be your starting quarterback, presumably in September. But the transfer portal is very, very open. There's a lot of good talent left in there. We have not got a single transfer except for an FCS corner who really did not move the needle at all. We absolutely need to get a transfer quarterback. This brings me to the second part of the video. About a week ago, there's a bunch of rumors starting that Casey Thompson will be rejoining Nebraska football. I didn't necessarily address this in a video yet, but I never bought into those rumors. It just didn't make any sense. We saw that when Matt Rhule got here, he basically kicked Casey Thompson off the team. He was never a fan of Casey. He already got his guy, that being Jeff Sims, and he said, hey, Casey, you're not going to start here. You might as well leave, right? And Casey took that, and he went to FAU. I just did not see an opportunity for him to come back. I don't think that Matt Rhule and him would ever see eye to eye. And at the end of the day, I don't think Casey really wanted to be a backup. Yeah, if he was to come back, he'd be a walk-on, he'd be a backup, and he'd be a mentor. I don't know if Casey is mature enough to want that to be his role. I think Casey still wants to play, even though he's coming off an ACL injury. So I never really bought into the rumors. And, of course, it was reported today, actually, that he entered the transfer portal again. And Pete Nakos of On3 reported that he will not be coming to Nebraska. That's off the table. So that ends up being true, that he will not be a Cornhusker once again. I would have personally loved Casey to be back, though, under that role. I think that is ideal to have a veteran seventh-year quarterback as your backup. So not only do you have a quality backup that you can put in if Dylan Raiola is struggling or if Dylan Raiola gets banged up, and two, you basically have a mentor. You basically have an extra coach. That's what they do in the NFL. They have guys who are your second-string, third-string quarterbacks who act like assistant coaches. They help develop the young quarterbacks that you see at the next level, right? You see this with Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes, right? Alex Smith started that 1 year over Mahomes, basically taught him the ropes, and then Mahomes took over, right? You see this all the time in professionals. So I would have really, really loved that. That's an ideal scenario. But, of course, it does not look like that's what is going to happen. Again, I'm not sure who to blame. I'm not sure if Casey is to blame, if he did not want to be a star or did not want to be a backup, or I'm not sure if Matt Rhule is to blame here. Again, we know that Matt Rhule is not the biggest fan of Casey Thompson for whatever reason. It is what it is, right? So that rumor gets put to bed. I know there was a lot of rumors around that happening. I never bought stock, and of course, proves to be right. So who will be our transfer quarterback? We will have a video coming out very soon. Might be tomorrow, might be the day after, talking about the transfer portal as a whole. There's a guy by the name of KJ Jefferson, you might have heard of him, from Arkansas, that I think we might be after. Here's my thing, is that I just don't want a quarterback who will fight for that quarterback one spot. I want a mentor quarterback. I want a backup. I want a guy who's been through the ringer a couple times, going into his fifth year, going into his sixth year even. I want a guy who has seen the bad and the good of college football and can really teach Raiola that. There was Oklahoma State's quarterback for a long time, Spencer Sanders, I believe is his name, who was there at Okie State for about 5 years, it felt like. He went to Ole Miss this year and basically was a mentor backup for Jackson Dart. That's what I would love, a guy like a Spencer Sanders. I mean, I think Spencer Sanders obviously is not on the table, but I want a backup quarterback, a guy who can be a mentor to Raiola, because that will be beneficial most for his development, especially given the fact that we do not have an experienced quarterback coach right now. Unfortunately, Matt Rhule has still yet to make an official quarterback coach hire. We think it's going to be Adam DeMichael, who was basically an assistant this year. I'm not in love with that hire. The guy really does not have much experience. It would be really great if we could get a transfer quarterback to kind of add to that coaching room, necessarily not as a coach, but a guy who will be a mentor to Raiola. Potentially could be a grad assistant when he's done. So that's what I'm looking for in the portal. In my next video, I'll have certain quarterbacks that I want us to go after, but I don't have the answers right now. I mean, the transfer portal is looking slim. It seems like it opened up about 2 weeks ago, and most of the guys who entered are already taken. So we need to really step it up in the portal, and watch out for that next video. I'll be detailing all of that. So let me know in the comment section what you think about Chubba Purdy leaving, what you think about the whole Casey Thompson news, and who you want to go after in the portal. If you even want to get after transfer quarterback, let me know down below. But as always, go Matt Rhule, go Big Red. See you next one, everybody. Merry Christmas.